Hello everyone, welcome back. I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about the Pennsic War. Okay, I recently posted a video where you see about 2,000 guys in armor coming together and fighting it out. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about it. Okay, and what's going on there? How hard are we hitting each other? That sort of stuff. So, basically, this happens every summer. Okay, it's last week of July, first week of August. So it's a 2-week event. It's a camping event. So basically, you go there on site, and you camp, and we do anything that's medieval related. Okay, it's not just fighting. They'll do medieval dancing, medieval cooking, medieval, calligraphy, anything. Okay, now you don't have to do everything. You do whatever you're interested in, and the thing that I'm most interested in is the fighting. There's probably about somewhere between 10 and 12,000 people that are camping, okay, and about 2,000 of them do the armored combat. Okay, so if you go back and you look at that video, okay, you'll notice that a lot of people are using polearms, basically, big two-handed weapons. Basically, it's a sword on a stick. Basically, some of them have like axe heads, which makes them hit even harder because there's more mass at the end. So the question is, how hard are we hitting? This isn't just tap stuff. Okay, you're putting the full body into the shots. Okay? That's what you're seeing in the video when we are hitting each other. Okay. Now just to give you an example of the armor that we're using, I've done other videos that show you guys my helmet, but basically this is the helmet that I wear. It weighs about 8 pounds. You can see there's dents on it. So the weight of this helmet absorbs a lot of the impact, just its mass, by itself. However, if you get a straight shot into the head, it's going to ring your bell. So, usually you want to try and get as much of a block on these shots as possible. You want to block the shots. You don't want to depend on the armor to protect you. Okay, especially against the polearms. So let me put this down for a second. Okay, so we are hitting with full power, full speed, guys, a lot of you guys might be wondering, how are we organized? Is there any organization? Are we fighting in unit? Is there a plan? Do you have just two masses just kind of going at each other? And the answer is yes. There is organization. Even though the individual people have not organized it, the way it works is that throughout the year, about 60 to 70% of the people that do this will go to weekly practices. And it doesn't have to be every week. Some people like myself will go every week, but a lot of people might go once a month or whatever they do. But the point is that they've been to some practice. They have some connection with local people. So what happens is when they show up to Pennsic, right? They will typically camp with those people that they know. Okay, that's pretty obvious. You're going to camp with the people that you know. So you have a bunch of groups that are from a given area that will typically practice together. So now they're camping together, and within that group there'll typically be at least one night. There might be more of them, and these are people who have been fighting for a long time in the SCA, right? They basically know almost all the knights in their kingdom, and they know a lot of other knights throughout the SCA. So it creates a clear hierarchy in the sense that you've got everybody at the local practice basically recognizes who the best fighters are, who are typically knights. So when they go to Pennsic, they will basically generally line up behind the knight that they know, the one that they know to be the best fighter, and the knights have already communicated with other knights and dukes as far as what they want to do. So basically, it's very easy to organize. 1,000 people on each side, right? It's very easy to organize 2,000 people very quickly and come up with a plan because people that go there know somebody, right? You kind of have to know somebody because before you can't just show up in armor and just fight. You have to at least have gone to a practice to get an authorization card. An authorization card basically says that you understand the rules, you understand what the game is. So you're gonna have at least, you will have been to at least 1 or 2 practices even if you're new to this and you understand what the game is. So you're going to know at least 1 or 2 people, okay? So typically when you get the Pennsic, you'll kind of line up behind them. And now the Knights with the Dukes, they've come up with a plan. And the one of the things I wanted to bring out in this video is there's a certain level of realism that comes out of this. And the level of realism is, for example, any type you're trying to organize that many people, and trying to get them to move and do something, that has to be a very simple plan, okay? So the plan is typically, okay, these 2 units will move forward, these 2 will lag behind, 20 feet, and basically the commander or the knight in charge or in front of each unit will basically, do the pacing. And they're very simple plans. Either basically, either the middle units might fall back a little bit and allow the outside units to come in and kind of enclose, or they might do, like a right echelon or a left echelon where the right side is leading or the left side is leading. You might have some skirmishing units whose their function is to kind of go out there and basically try and draw out the other side and pull them in a little bit. So they're very simple plans, because that is what works best when you have that many people fighting each other, okay? Now, whatever plan you come up with at the beginning of this battle, that's the one that you're stuck with, okay? Because once the 2 lines hit, okay, you can't even hear what the guy to the left of you and to the right of you are saying, because basically just from the shields and the weapons clashing, there's just so much noise that you absolutely cannot hear your commander. You're going to lose track of them. So however you are positioned before that initial impact, that's basically how you're going to fight. What will typically happen is after that impact, if you are still alive, then basically at that point you just look for another unit. If your unit loses cohesion, you will look for other people of the same color tape, because basically we all have tape on our helmets to designate which side we're on. So at that point, you just try to stick together with other people who have the same tape. But that's an important thing to understand, is once the 2 sides collide, I mean, there's no changing the plan at that point. At that point, that's where you guys are going to fight. In the video, you will see that you'll see a lot of people walking off the battlefield. Basically, those guys are dead. They'll typically be holding the weapon over their head, to signify to other people that they're dead. So that's what's going on with that when you see people just walking off the battlefield. One of the things to realize, okay, first of all, in the middle of the summer, it's about 95 degrees, okay? The most important thing on the battlefield is water, okay? Absolutely the most important thing. Now, from the camps that we're camping at, some of us are close to the battlefield where it's only like a 5-10 minute walk. Some people are way on the other side where it's almost like a 20-minute walk. So by the time you get to the battlefield, I mean, you are already like really thirsty and tired, okay? So that's the realism of fighting in a battle like this. You are tired before the battle even starts. You are thirsty. You are hot, okay? So you get your water, you get into your lines, into your formation, and then, a lot of times you might be standing in that formation for some while before the armies actually start moving. So, again, you're sitting there, you're holding your weapons, you're in armor, that's going to weigh, at the minimum, because the helmet weighs 8 pounds by itself, so at the minimum you're in about 20 pounds of armor. Some people will have even a lot more than that. They might have 30 pounds of armor. So you're sitting there, you're standing in position waiting for the instructions to move forward. And you're getting very thirsty while you're doing this. So that's the reality of it. Now, in the video, you will see that it's basically an open field battle. We also do, for example, woods battles. Okay, in the woods battle, first of all, it's further out, so it's a much longer walk to the woods. So we're even more tired and more thirsty by the time we get to the location where we're going to be fighting the woods battle. So it's always a challenge just getting to the woods, from the campsites. And once we get there, we're basically fighting on top of a hill. Okay, so once we enter, Now these aren't woods like nicely manicured woods. These are raw woods, like what you see around here, where you're moving through thick trees. There's branches all over the ground that you're tripping on. And there's rocks. You cannot. It's very hard to move in a straight line. You kind of have to, take whichever path because remember, you're moving trying to move a lot of people through the woods. It's not like the field battle where they can all move forward, in a nice, nice even way, the way you want to move. In the woods battle, people basically, the terrain will break up units, and it's a struggle to try and stay in formation. So that's a big challenge. The woods battle is usually a resurrection battle that lasts about 90 minutes, and it's a capture the flag kind of thing. So at the end of the 90 minutes, they see who has who has possession of the flag, the flag points, so basically you go up, you fight. There's a if you get killed, now you gotta go all the way back down the hill in order to resurrect and come back into the battle. So you're walking down through the woods, walking up through the woods, and that is the most tiring thing. Usually you're not going to get water until you get back to the resurrection point, because that's where the water bearers are. But it is an awesome challenge if you're into that. If you're up for the challenge. Now there's a lot of people that do the field battles that are not able to do the woods battles because it is a lot more grueling. We also do bridge battles where we use hay bales to to try and concentrate people, where basically there's only certain areas where they're able to cross. We usually do this out in the field, and it forces people to fight, in really tight, narrow passageways. We do the castle battle in the video. You'll see the castle in the back. We actually fight around that. The castle actually has ramparts that people will fight from the off the castle wall at the people that down on the ground underneath it. We do have some projectile weapons. We have arrows. They have blunts in front of them, so we have arrows, we have ballistas, we have like trebuchets that throw like these, these heavy sponge balls. So all sorts of fun stuff. I'm gonna post the video again after this, so that you guys, some people may have not seen the original video, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys an explanation of what's going on in the video. I mean, it is, we are fighting with full power, full speed. We're typically using some pretty heavy weapons because, like when I do singles combat, one-on-one, I want a light, quick sword. When you're in a group, when you're fighting in a melee where you have lots of people around you, a lot of times some of the lighter blows, people won't recognize them because they may not be able to tell the difference between just a lighter hit and just being just being hit by shields and by people around them. Okay, so the blows typically have to be extra hard so people will recognize them. Just because of the nature of, you got people just banging into each other. So it's really a fun thing, and it has there's a lot of things to be gained out of this. Aside from the fact that it's fun, right? In and of itself, it's just fun. It definitely gives an insight into what medieval combat might have would have been like. Not completely, but it gives some insight. I mean, for example, we don't have horses. We don't have knights on horses, picking people off that are on the ground. So there's certain, it only, that realism only goes so far, but it does give some understanding of what a medieval battle might have been like, especially in terms of the organization, the communication, the logistics of trying to get water to the people doing the fighting. So there's a lot of reality to it. There's that realism to it, and also I also think that it has a good modern day, tactical, because I do a lot of tactical training with modern day, weapons, and I think there's something to be learned. There's a lot that will carry over from that, into the tactical training as well. Again, going back to the organization of, organizing units, the logistics, trying to put a simple plan into place, and also being able to know what to do, after that initial impact. Being able to, after that impact, trying to regroup. That's a big thing in these type of of battles. After that initial impact, you don't want your army to scatter. You want them to basically to reform and regroup, and to continue to fight as a unit. So after that initial impact, what I'm usually doing is looking around, trying to find people that have the same color tape as me. So I want to get together with another unit. Even if it's not my unit, it doesn't matter. Get together with another unit and fight as a team. So that would also transfer over into modern day fighting as well. If you guys haven't seen the video, I'm going to post it right now after this, so you can check it out. And if you like this video, share it. I'll give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.
And here we go. Here we go. And it's crash time. And here comes the two trucks. There go the two trucks. Get out. Up there, hurry. There we go.